Hey, what's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here, back with the next part of What If Naruto Joined the ANBU. I know it's been a long time since I uploaded this video, and why is not a movie today? Well, I'm quite busy today, and I don't have the time to record a movie, so yeah, I had a little bit of time, so yeah, I thought I might record this part. So, I promise tomorrow will be a movie day, so yeah, stay tuned for that, and meanwhile, enjoy this part, if you like it. If you haven't, then please do leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And without further ado, let's begin with our story. Moments after opening the door, I repeat, what are you doing in my apartment, sleeping in my bed? Naruto tried again when it became obvious Hikaru was still half asleep. The older teen barely sat up. Oh, Chibi Kohai, I wasn't expecting you back until tomorrow. He greeted. Naruto's hand rested on a seal placed on the wall. Just a burst of his specified QB chakra and hundreds of kunai would be launched from a series of traps and converge on the futon and skewer Hikaru alive. Senpai, you have 3 seconds to start explaining why are you here and not in your own apartment, or I will try out my new home security trap seals on you. Naruto threatened. Hikaru gulped. Heh, no need to be so hasty. See? My apartment is infested with rats, so I had to move out for a week or so. We're roommates now. Hell no, we aren't roommates. Why aren't you at HQ? The dorms are there for a reason. Naruto rubbed the bridge of his nose. Dragon Teme kicked me out for having no regard for tardiness. Whatever that means, and the captain and Yugao said you wouldn't mind. Just how can a Yuga be so un-Yuga-like? Naruto questioned when the shock caught up to him. Your apartment is so messy that rest invaded, didn't they? The dorm aren't capable of housing you, and everybody is pawning you off to me, the youngest. Naruto pointed an accusatory finger at his friend, who upon closer inspection had several articles of clothing, books, and weapons laying around. Well, I refuse to let you be this way, Hikaru. While you are here, you will be neat and tidy, but cleaning is boring. You're just like Hiyashi-sama. You don't understand that my apartment is like a canvas of art, and art is messy. Naruto shuddered in remembrance of his last mission. I won't tell you how to keep your canvas, but this is my canvas, and I happen to like seeing the floor with the use of Byakugan. Clean this up while I'm in the shower, or I'm telling Guy you want the room with him. Instantly, Hikaru was cleaning the whole apartment while a shadow clone of his dusted. A thought came to his mind. Hey Hikaru, I'll sleep on the couch tonight as a reward for you actually cleaning. Next morning, Naruto stretched lazily at 9 in the morning and slowly took off the earplugs from both his and Angel's ears. The cat mirrored his stretches. Naruto, she purred at him as she received a back scratch. Did we actually get to sleep in? Yep, Hikaru just begged to be Guy's training partner today, so who were we to refuse? Naruto chirped. Angel blinked. Huh? Naruto chuckled. Don't worry about it. Let's go on a breakfast run. Before we go, we don't have to be at the training grounds until noon, remember? He beat a thumb through his mask and did the summoning jutsu. Akira and Hisoke appeared with both dual yawns. What's the big idea calling us so early? Akira mumbles. Oh, just a proposition and a proposition for you. Naruto replies easily. Noon, training ground 3. Naruto strolled into the grounds to find a very irritated Kurenai, Asuma, and a crying Guy, while the Genins worked on various exercises. Naruto, you're late. We've been here since 7 in the morning. You were scheduled to start your traps and obstacle courses 2 hours ago, Kurenai lectured in a cheering tone. Asuma snorted. Why are you surprised? Kakashi has been trying to make him a clone of his. Lateness is just a part of it. Yosh, my youthful neighbor, let us brighten and relighten your flames of youth. Hikaru washed in the flames of youth this morning. You do well to follow us and his example of the youth as well. Guy kept rambling until Kurenai backed him. Kurenai turned towards Naruto, but he held up his hands. Listen, I'm sorry for being late, senpai. Told me noon. So, yeah, swear. Kurenai relaxed and Asuma's sweat dropped. Damn, Kakashi. Let's see how he likes a henjied him, leading a crusade against Icha Icha, he muttered. After a moment, he looked back. Oh, sorry, anyways. Gather your students up and I'll start the exercise. Wait, but don't you need to prepare? Asuma asked. Naruto shook his hand. No, let's just say a few friends of mine setting up the forest. Okay then. Hey everybody, come over here. Asuma called and the Genins gathered around. Confused looks from everywhere, but Team 7 came when they gazed at Naruto standing among their senseis. This is your new instructor, Naruto. He's filling in for Kakashi today. Naruto eyed his former classmate warily. He dressed in his off-duty gear without the flak jacket or headband. Both were stored in a scroll on his hip pouch, though overall he didn't give the impression of ninja. Good, he smirked inwardly. He wanted to see their faces when his former tormentors and classmates realized he wasn't the dead lost anymore. Even if they didn't find out he was a ninja now, much less a Chunin and ANBU. Oi, what's the failure doing here? Akamaru could beat this brat right now. Right, boy? Akamaru yipped at his master boasting, but Naruto kept a blank face. The others started to questioning him. Naruto, why are you teaching us traps? Hinata asked with a blush. Naruto eyed her. Because I'm a proficient at them. They have helped me in the past. You 12 will be completing a mission, so to speak. My partners are young Hellcat named Angel is napping somewhere in the training grounds. Your objective is to find her and bring her back safely. There will be opposition from some of my summons as well, but you are to disarm them or avoid setting off any traps on your way to and from. Nara blushed when he looked at her and she turned away. Whatever, loser. Me and Akamaru will beat this course and all by ourselves and show you that we're better than you. Kiba boasted. Naruto chuckled. Too bad your captain is Sakura. Any insubordination will be punished severely. Forehead is the leader. No way, Sasuke-kun is the strongest. He should be the leader. Ino insisted, but looking over at the team 7, Sakura looked like this was normal. It was as Kakashi-sensei and Hikaru-sensei had made her head and lead due to her brains and support role. While Sasuke gave a grudging shrug, he had to admit, letting Sakura come up with the plans enabled him to get more experience fighting. It's troublesome, but I agree with Ino that Sakura isn't the best choice, and you failed the academy, so you are not our superior. Sakura looked ready to correct him, but silenced her with a look. One Shikamaru caught. Ha, too bad. I'm your teacher today and I assigned Sakura as the captain. Follow her orders like you would on an ANBU or a Jonin squad. Shikamaru narrowed his eyes slightly at the analogy but assessed it. Now you have 30 minutes to plan before my summons will start attacking. Though, knowing Akira, she'll be in about 10. Time runs out as sunset. With that, Naruto pulled out a kunai, launching tag Jiraiya had taught him. He wanted to expand the effective range from 10 meters to at least 15. It just fitted the expanded matrix on the small size paper was providing difficult. Plopping on to the ground, he shooted his former classmate away. Yosh, my eternal rival, we shall complete this task, or I will run around Konoha 50 times on my hands. If I can't do that, then I'll climb the Hokage tower with my teeth. Lee would have continued if Naruto didn't look up, deep in thought about his seal problem. Sorry, Lee, but it a miss. The end guy face faulted, while the other Jonins were dropped at Naruto's obvious accidental echoing of Kakashi. Ever since Guy began training Naruto and Lee had become sort of rivals. So it was more like Lee trying to rope him into a contest and Naruto refusing each time. Curse you, hip and cool Naruto, Lee cried. Neji, who had worked to keep quiet as wasting his breath on losers, was beneath him, grabbing his teammates and dragging him towards the group of Genin. Neji would make the Harno relieve command to him, the genius, and then they would beat the failures Naruto course. With the Byakugan, it would be easy, even if the boy did have summons. Naruto watched them go and turned back to the work. He'd smile. Say, Naruto. He looked up at Kurenai. Yes? They're going to win with the 2 Byakugans, and Inuzuka and the Naburame. Are you sure you don't want to do something else? And putting Sakura, of all people? Naruto glared sharply. I'm sorry, senpai, but you forgot. I have a Yuga on my team. But my youthful student is a prodigy. Kai pointed out, only to grew confused at Naruto's note. Hey, he may be a prodigy or a good Genin, but Hikaru is a decade ahead of him in both ninjutsu and Byakugan. Despite being only 2.5 years older, Hikaru is a real genius, even if he doesn't flaunt it. In my position, I learned enough traps and how to use them in ways that make the fancy Kekkei Genkai your students rely on useless, as you will see. As for the ship leader, I picked Sakura because she's intelligent, stronger than most of the other Genins now, and has experience in my test. What about Shikamaru? I know you keep tabs on your old classmates. You know he has a high IQ and is a master at shogi. He'll give up, and I'll bet he'd even quit in the finals for the Chunin exams if he believed it too troublesome. Also, he's weak while with Sakura. Even Hikaru is becoming nervous with her use of senbons and tactics, though I still don't expect them to win. Not when Akira is so motivated. He mused. Asuma took a puff. And what does your promise that insane feline? He remarked, remembering the challenge between Kakashi and the said blonde. Said blonde rubbed his head sheepishly. Oh, nothing. Just that if she keep the Genin from even reaching Angel, I'd teach her how to activate exploding seal. She's very eager now. Just then, Kiba screams and later yell of damn cat who'd pick up the devil's summon. Naruto, stupid tiger, made the gathering wince. Wow, only 27 minutes earlier. I didn't expect her patience to last that long with Kakashi, our favorite copy ninja, crouched low in a deserted alleyway. Still, even after 6 hours of waiting, Dragon and Tenzo were next to him. Still, Dragon sighed in annoyance when Tenzo shifted just a bit. Keep waiting. It shouldn't be long now. He was supposed to be sending their Jinchuriki this way. Remember the plan? Kakashi gripped his knee. Really hating this plan, Konoha in all her wisdom decided that since Eva had been confirmed to send a small aid in force to Konoha in hopes of destroying them, that one of the Jinchuriki they'd be sending Han should be taken out of the picture. Intel of a certain ANBU inside Eva, who worked at Han's favorite dango shop, confirmed that the Jinchuriki was headed towards the western border for a simple assassination mission. Too bad he wouldn't make it. After all, the commander, a Sharingan user, and a wood-style user against a Jinchuriki was hardly a fair fight. And if his death was quietly blamed on Kumo, so that they have to focus on Konoha's rival, all the better. Kakashi just hoped his little brother/student was holding and handling his Genin okay. With Naruto back in Konoha, Naruto chuckled at Kiba's cries and Nakamura yells. Kurenai gave him a look. I don't appreciate you laughing at my student, Naruto. They didn't get the full amount of time, and is setting your beast against them really fair? Hey, first they're summon cats, and second, we're ninjas. Since when is a fair part of our lifestyle? I haven't had more than 2 days off since I became a shinobi. Every day, I'm supposed to be off for a medical or mission leave. Dragon-sama, Guy-sensei, or Senpai has something for me to do, but it's training or a favor. Yesterday I got home and was told by Kakashi-senpai I needed to take over today. So please, just scan it, Kurenai-senpai. I'm really just too tired to give a damn. And in the huff, Naruto deftly stored his seals and stalked off to observe his former classmate be taken out by a undersized panther and a silent tiger. Lots of traps. Perhaps my youthful neighbor has dried up his youth from overwork, Guy said in an unusually serious voice. Once Naruto lift form disappeared into a canopy, his chakra signature becoming almost non-existent to anyone below a Chunin or Jonin. Asuma sighed, while Kurenai winced. I didn't know he was that busy. Then again, he hardly is in the village proper anymore. The civilians and lower Chunins had begun to wonder if he was even around anymore, and none of them know he graduated. Yeah, Pops and the higher-ups are treating everyone and everything about the kid as some kind of top secret now. Not even my youthful prodigy knows he's a ninja. One of these days, Lee is with us. Naruto is in his hip and cool off-duty clothes. Oh, curse you, Kakashi, for taking away his youthful nest, Orange. I heard that was the ANBU, actually, Asuma pointed out, to which Guy ignored. With the test takers, the Genin weren't even 20 feet in, and already 10 out of the 12 had experienced various traps or were caught under one of the cats. The exception were Sai, who had narrowly missed in elaborated kunai and wire course, and Shino, whose bugs were acting as his defense. Who made Naruto pissed off? Sakura moaned as she was caught in the third paint bomb. Naruto was never this vindictive unless someone hurt him first. Sasuke snorted and used his Sharingan to deflect some shurikens. Neji cried out in frustration, my eyes can't see destiny. Why can't they pick up their useless childish pranks from hiding? Hinata was quietly wondering why hers weren't helping either, and Shikamaru dropped into his thinking pose. A heavy mist rolled through the forest, laden with chakra, and a disembodiment voice rang out. You all wonder why the dead lost is able to outsmart it now. Newsflash, I have always been able to outprank ANBU and the village. Heck, I can outrun almost of all of them before I was 11. Neji, I am friends with Hikaru and his eyes are stronger than yours. Nonsense, Neji claimed. His were the strongest since his father. That disgrace focuses on inferior techniques to the Byakugan. His eyes have already been suppressed even by Hanabi. Tss, tss, no, Yours and Hanabi's eyes are the potential to surpass Hikaru's, but you are just a new genin and Hikaru is a Jonin at 15. That and he doesn't rely on his eyes to fight. They are just a tool like every other kunai or exploding tag. Naruto was slinking through the trees in a taunting manner as he ripped into his friend's little cousin's pride. Hikaru rarely discussed his clan, but he had a special place in his heart for Neji. Well, more of a desire to beat the fate out of him as the boy bought into his clan's whispers that his eyes were already at the pinnacle and that Hikaru was a failure for having an even skill set. Naruto said this part of the test just for him, and Akira joined him in sniggering at the Genin's misfortune before her. Now, start working together, I'll be watching. The mist pulled away slowly and Sakura cleared her throat. Alright everyone, we have about 5 hours left to make it through the forest of traps. Grab Angel and bring her back to the clearing, all while staying away from Akira and Hisoke. Naruto taught Sasuke basic traps and Sai the more advanced ones, so they'll each be in charge of subgroups. Shikamaru, who should be on what team and what should our formations be? Sakura asked, and the group stared in shock as someone willingly split up the leadership. As Shikamaru prepared to speak, Neji spoke up. It is unwise for a civilian ninja like you to take charge, as you also have no real skills or experience, especially as my failure of a cousin taught you. I'll decide the team and Sasuke, who had just stood next to him, backed off and Sakura's first shot Neji back. She cracked her knuckles. Don't insult Hikaru-sensei and Naruto put me in charge, so shut up. The Genins were wide-eyed, and many would have sworn a camera click went off from above. Sakura turned a sweet smile back to Shikamaru. Please continue, troublesome woman. Fine, here's how we'll do this. As the Genin planned and set off, Naruto enjoyed the pictures he captured. Hikaru would garner no small amount of amusement from the snapshot of Neji being blown away by the pink cat's first punch to him. Good job, Sakura, he complimented quietly as he delegatedly each task perfectly, much like his true leader. 15 minutes later, after Akira had once again swept in for a visit to the Genin, the feline appeared next to Naruto, new perch as he worked on the seal. Naruto, can I hang out with Angel? This is boring, she asked. Naruto raised an eyebrow. Boring? You love this kind of thing. I saw how you turned Kiba Jack into ribbons and clawed I love felines into his front. The panther puffed out her cheeks. Yeah, but they're too easy. Hisoke is keeping them busy anyway, so please. She turned the kitten eyes on him and the blonde couldn't resist. Fine, but don't do anything stupid. And don't let the Genin capture Angel. It'd be a blow to our pride. Akira grinned and left. Naruto decided to do the same and headed off back to the clearing and to at least keep some semblance of a working relationship with the Jonin senseis. 30 minutes later, before sunset with Angel and Akira, just always remember, fill the mouth with chakra too and you'll be fine. Angel advised from her perch that Naruto left her on. The Hellcat had spent the afternoon napping and working on the false grounding genjutsu when Akira appeared, asking for a favor. The panther grinned wickedly before darting off through the shadows, and Angel idly wondered if Naruto would forgive her for this. You'll probably find it hilarious, she decided and sat up back down for another nap. Sakura and Ino were in the leading group along with Shino and Neji, who could see the traps once the various layers of chakra and blocking seals were disabled by Sakura and Ino every few feet. They were almost all at the spot where Naruto's cat would be, and Sakura was ready to be done and go home. If only so, she wouldn't have to listen to be the constant in fighting. By now they had barely 15 minutes, if that, before sunset. Akira dropped in front of them, causing them to go into defensive. The Genin had managed to injure Hisoke with a grazing, making him poof, but the panther hadn't shown herself. Ha ha ha. Taste this, humans. Akira voice crackled and a stream of fire exploded from her mouth, hitting Ino's hair. Eep! The blonde girl screamed as the ends of her hair went up in flames. Sakura, not wasting time, cut the burnt tendrils off before it reached the scalpel and pulled her friend away. Shikamaru's group captured her before she burns down the whole forest. Sakura ordered, and Shikamaru, Sasuke, and Hinata moved in surrounding the feline. Shino sends a wave of bugs as well. Akira lets loose another round of flames, burning the bugs and singing Hinata's jacket. All around the group, the forest burned. All around the group, the forest burned. Sasuke fired off a fireball to counter Sakura's, and Sakura assisted and resisted the urge to rub her temples as she and Shikamaru attempted to come up with a plan. None of them knew much, if any, elemental ninjutsu and no water ninjutsu at all. Kiba and Akamaru did a genjutsu Getsuga into a tree, releasing a torrent of wires and trapping them and Sai, who was near. Ino was still fussing over her looks, and Choji used a human boulder into Shikamaru. Waterfall was heard, and Naruto commanded a torrent of water from a scroll, soaking everything and everyone and effectively putting out the fire. He glared down at the group, told mainly Akira, "The test is over. Meet me in the clearing." He used a Sunshin and was gone, much to the Genin Sharingan. Naruto had L12 in front of them, sitting soaked on the ground and looking between sheepish to enraged. He snorted as Kiba gave Akamaru on his shoulder death glares, and hoped the feline as she hissed back. The Jonin were hidden already nearby, listening in. "I am very disappointed," he began. Protest began, but a icy glare they had never seen before silenced them. Again, disappointed. Academy students would be better than you guys. Yes, Sakura should have had the foresight to not use the fire ninjutsu in the forest, but so should you, Sasuke. Not only did you 12 fail, but your pace was slow, something that will get you killed in the field. Oh yeah, loser, you didn't even graduate. What do you know? Naruto eye twitched. Oh, screw it. Sakura, Sasuke, Sai, all three stood in attention, and Hikaru and Kakashi to an extent taught them. "Tell me what rank I am." "Chunin, senpai." The three answered immediately, and Naruto had them sit down. Naruto nodded and took out his headband and vest. "Good. Yes, I am a Chunin. It was a field promotion. Now on to the other matters, please." "How did you get promoted?" "Village secret." Naruto cut Ino off immediately. "You have to learn when to use jutsu and how to move silently. I watched you all for hours in between bugging your senseis, and you all talked too much, moved too loudly, and misused jutsus throughout the entire test. A cramped space is not the place to try a human boulder or Getsuga. Your sensei will have their own reports now. Oh, and if any of you talk about my status, you'll be charged with insubordination and receiving a blank mark." Naruto added and left, pointedly looking at Ino. She gulped but nodded, and in off-duty ANBU left the Genin to speculate amongst themselves. "Well, I didn't expect him to tell them his status," Asuma whispered from the perch. Kai looked thoughtful, while Kurenai looked a bit miffed. Still, Naruto didn't have to be so rough on them. They aren't trained to the degree he was. "And that's not my fault," Naruto amused voice added as he walked up with Angel. "Akira, having left for home already, it's better for them to learn here in the village than die in the field. That's what I was taught. Besides, they did work. Just their ego needed work. Though I'm surprised you have ANBU helping your team, Kurenai-senpai. See you three at the poker game tonight." Naruto waved and then walked off, no doubt to get some rest, leaving a new, now thoughtful group of Jonin and Wake. "Hey Naruto." "Yes, Angel?" Naruto asked while buying some of takeout ramen from Yakumo and him. He didn't have a mission tomorrow, just training at 10 with the Hokage, so Naruto planned to visit new friend. "Why were you so mean sounding back there?" Akira even said he told them to be harsher, and those traps were higher than they'd seen in the Chunin exams. "It's just, I was almost bullied by most of the Genin back in the academy, and the rest ignored me. It was form of payback. As for the Jonins, well, I didn't think they'll underestimate me now." He smirked. Angel purred. "Yeah, I don't think so either. Are you mad though about me showing Akira fire jutsu?" He snorted. "Hell no, that was hilarious, especially when it hit Ino's ear. Ha, so I will need to talk to her about restraints. My water jutsu is coming along." Naruto added and began telling his partner about his success in the two jutsus that they were beginning to not train him completely. Yakumo stared down at her curious ball as Naruto and Angel consumed there with gusto. She tried to take a peek while Naruto ate, but the ANBU was sly and she never managed. "Huh, not hungry?" Naruto asked with a hint of worry as Yakumo was already too skinny. "Go on, it's good," he reassured her. Yakumo hesitated before taking a small bite. Unable to hide how much she liked it, she grinned. She sensed Naruto being smug and huffed. "It's alright," she gave in. "Thanks, Mouse." "No problem," he responded and got another bowl as they watched the stars starting to eat. With Kakashi's group, Kakashi Earth Wall was shattered by a now version 2 Han. Tenzo's wine and said the Jinchuriki twice, but the amount of chakra to hold down the many tails was frightening. Kakashi prepared his Sharingan as Tenzo prepared his jutsu. However, Han refused to meet Kakashi's gaze for the genjutsu to set in. The assassination would have been easy if not for the fact that Han was being accompanied by Jonin. One dragon was currently facing. Dragon stared at the Jonin, a Jonin Konoichi who licked her lips menacingly. Earth style, Earth and Stone Dragon, she called, and the ground rose from the resemble a massive dragon. Dragon pressed an eye roll at her power display. I can't mess around. Kakashi and Tenzo are having trouble. Han is better than we thought. I'll have to use it for both of them. The commander, mind made up, used 3 successive shurikens to first dodge the dragon and then get into her defensive. The Iwachoni blocked her sword with her own, and she looked into the Anbu's eyes. Big mistake. Sharingan. The Iwanin guessed. In one eye hole, a red eye glowed, and spinning orb met her gaze. Night, night, he said as she fell into a trance. A slice later, and she was dead. Turning his head towards the explosive demonic chakra, Dragon grimaced. I hope Hiruzen forgives me, he muttered, and left to save his comrade. Both whom are bearing down now. As this is where I'm going to be leaving this part of, guys. I know it's quite short, but I'm busy today, so yeah. I still want to upload a video today because, yeah, it's my New Year's resolution, so I hope you like this one. And if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, as this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing off.